Today marks the third anniversary of His Highness the Amir, Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, his assumption of power, which inaugurated a new stage in the history of the state of Kuwait and in his march in the leadership of the country. After a march full of achievements and distinguished stations of official positions and honorable national positions, His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed, may Allah protect and bless him, was called to be the 16th ruler of Kuwait in light of smooth procedures for the process of transitioning as usual when the new Amir takes charge of the state after his predecessor. The Kuwaiti Constitution and Article 4 of Law No. 4 for the year of 1964 regarding the provisions of the inheritance of the emirate, with what was known about His Highness of wisdom, chastity, sincerity, and dedication to all that includes Kuwait's elevation, interest, security, and prosperity. 3 years ago, and on a new page of Kuwait's luminous history, the government held a special session and named His Highness the Crown Prince at that time, Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed, as the Emir of the country. The 30th of September of 2020 is an immortal day in the history of Kuwait and Kuwaitis, as Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, may Allah protect and bless him, took the constitutional oath as the Emir of the country before the National Assembly, succeeding the late Emir Sheikh Sabah al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, may Allah rest his soul, in the presence of members of the legislative and executive authorities, senior sheikhs, and figures in the state. Today, Kuwaitis recall these historic moments when His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, stood under the dome of the parliament to take the constitutional oath as the Emir of Kuwait, marking the inauguration of a new phase of His Highness's long march in work and giving, as a continuation of what the predecessors' rulers started. In his first speech after taking the constitutional oath, His Highness the Emir, may Allah protect him, emphasized national unity and hard work for the good and honor of the state of Kuwait and its loyal people. His Highness also affirmed his pride in the Constitution and the democratic approach, and his keenness to embody the spirit of the one family, promising to protect Kuwait's dignity and protect its security and stability.
He stressed upon many points which relate to internal matters, matters that are concerned between the members of the parliament and the government and the cabinet, and the public, and the relationships with international organizations and with neighboring countries and with international community. One of his prime calls was that he was going to uphold the Constitution of Kuwait in line with his predecessors, with all the previous emirs and rulers of Kuwait. And he considered that abiding by applying constitutional laws during the life of administrating the country was his prime goal, and he would not divert, not allow any bypassing of any of its articles.
The country has also witnessed new plans in its administration that rely on present data to build a prosperous future in which it keeps pace with developments and occupies the position it deserves in the Arab, regional, and global world. Local issues occupied the greatest interest of His Highness the Emir during the past 3 years due to His Highness's great interest in the details related to the affairs of the nation and citizens, especially regarding matters related to the legislative, executive, and judicial authorities. His Highness was providing support to the concerned authorities to work on everything that contributes to advancing the development process in the country, enhancing the capabilities of national cadres in various fields, stimulating various economic sectors, providing competitive investment opportunities, caring for the Kuwaiti youths and qualifying them with the best scientific and academic means, supporting education, health, and housing sectors.
On the SME side and the youth, we have noticed that there are clear instruction and guidance. For that, we've seen Kuwait in international indicators achieving a lot. This is overall, everybody have noticed the indicators in different directions, and we wish we see more, and we have to emphasize and recognize something. On top of that, we've seen a good improvement on the educational side, where His Highness was trying, or in a way, directing the private sector to play major role. The number of schools have increased. Now we see a second university for the government, which is University of Abdullah Salim University. The higher education, now we are talking about 12 or 13 academic entity. This will add value to the educational sector.
His Highness was keen to coordinate with Arab leaders in everything related to Arab issues and cooperate to solve the problems facing the Arab nation, with a focus on the Palestinian issue as it is the first Arab issue.
The stability that His Highness added in the regional and international with balanced relationship with the Eastern country and European and the Western countries. This is an added value during his role and during being now we are talking about the third year, definitely more to come.
The political and practical history of His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, which extends for more than half a century, is replete with great achievements to make Kuwait's position among the developed countries, so that His Highness giving and his experience in the areas in which he assumed leadership became respected and appreciated by all. His Highness the Emir is considered one of the most prominent political figures who witnessed the process of building the state of Kuwait since it gained its independence on the 19th of June of 1961. His Highness is considered one of the contributors who laid the foundations of the modern state and achieving its renaissance and elevation among nations and peoples. Over 14 years of accompanying his brother as Crown Prince, the late Amir, Sheikh Sabah al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, in every major and minor matter of governance, and after decisive moments in the country's history, His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah stood by him, supporting, encouraging, and participating in decision-making. The history of His Highness the Amir, Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, is replete with a rich career spanning more than half a century in the service of Kuwait in various fields, starting with his assumption of the position of Hawali governor and continuing to assume this responsibility until 1978, when he was appointed Minister of Interior. Among the most prominent achievements of His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah at the Ministry of Interior is the development of the security institution by modernizing its security and police sectors, providing financial capabilities to advance the security level, introducing modern devices, and drawing up a strategy for an integrated security system to combat crime. His Highness also created the Legal Department in the Ministry of Interior, the Mukhtar's Affairs Department, and the Election Department, and contributed to the development of police work. In January of 1988, His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah was appointed Minister of Defense, where His Highness developed the work, both military and civil, and His Highness confronted with all force and firmness the brutal Iraqi invasion, and took decisive decisions in confronting it and mobilized all civil and military energies to liberate Kuwait from the brutal invasion. His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah exerted great efforts in this regard and worked to reorganize the ranks of the Kuwaiti army abroad and raise its morale and preparation for participating in the war to liberate the country. After the liberation of Kuwait in 1991, His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah was appointed Minister of Social Affairs and Labor, where left clear imprints by taking quick humanitarian decisions to care for widows, orphans, and the elderly. In October of 1994, His Highness assumed the position of Deputy Chief of the National Guard, when His Highness' efforts combined with those of His Highness Sheikh Salim Al-Ali Al-Sabah, head of the National Guard, to advance this military institution in various aspects, especially in raising the efficiency of its members by engaging them in courses, exercises, and military maneuvers in a systematic manner and providing all that it requires the last military equipment and systems. His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed continued as Deputy Chief of the National Guard until July of 2003, when he was rechosen to take over the portfolio of the Ministry of Interior, in addition to the issuance of an Amiri decree appointed him as First Deputy Prime Minister in October of the same year, to continue in this position until His Highness assumed the mandate of the Crown Prince in 2006. His Highness was entrusted with goodness, merit, and competence that qualifies him to assume this position, and he continued for 14 years as a faithful support for the late Amir and a participant in making decisions that contribute to the development of the country and the preservation of its security and stability. On September the 30th, His Highness Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Sabah was sworn in as Amir of the country before a special session of the National Assembly in accordance with Article 60 of the Constitution, which states that the Amir shall, before exercising his powers in a special session of the National Assembly, take the constitutional oath. In the era of His Highness, despite the challenges imposed by the repercussions of the COVID-19 epidemic worldwide, the country began a historic stage in the process of building and giving to complete the stages started by his predecessors, and new plans began in which depend on the data of the present to build a prosperous future in which it keeps pace with the developments of the era and its developments and occupy the position that it deserves it regionally and globally.
This is the main issue because later on he mentioned about the presence of corruption in the country, and the only way that you can actually fix corruption is to not create new legislation, but to apply what is existing. The government of Kuwait through the years has produced many legislation to uphold the law and just and be fair and to be humanistic in its approach to the resolving of the crimes and problems and doing faulty work during the process of government. So that issue, which was extremely important for him and for the government of Kuwait and for the country of Kuwait, he stressed upon it because many people actually demand this. I do remember that before he came to power by His Highness the Amir, Kuwait was, expressing its unhappiness about breaking the law, people breaking the law and not being held accounted for. So this was a direct reaction to what was going on in the system of government in Kuwait prior to him being in charge.
His Highness was keen on all details related to the country's affairs and citizens' matters, in addition to the ongoing conditions facing the world due to the coronavirus that prompted His Highness the Amir to instruct officials to do their best to curb the pandemic's repercussions in the country. On the economic side, His Highness provided the concerned authorities to work on everything that contributes to stimulating the economic sectors, developing their products and services and creating competitive investment opportunities, as well as paying attention to the industrial and agricultural sectors and developing their products and exports.
The second point was to develop the economy of the country. And he stressed about the development by whatever means is necessary because it was a major issue. Kuwait needs to be producing some kind of economical, let's say, product other than the oil. So stressing the economical aspect in his speech was to shed the light on this particular matter. And we have seen nowadays some developments actually happening after 3 years of that day of the speech.
His Highness also stressed the provision of investment opportunities and continuous work in support of the wheel of development to create a competitive economic environment to enhance the state of Kuwait economically in parallel with the role of the private sector in strengthening the tributaries of the national economy and contributing to diversifying sources of income. During his speeches, His Highness the Amir Sheikh Nawaf Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah stressed the importance of the role of the private sector in strengthening the tributaries of the national economy and contributing to diversifying sources of income and the importance of cooperation and coordination with the concerned bodies to combine joint efforts in order to achieve the desired development goals.
On the financial side, we see that there is a good growth in terms of diversification, and this is one of the objectives for Kuwait, to diversify revenues for the economy. And we've seen this in the sovereign fund for Kuwait. We saw that there is a big jump and increase in the size of the fund, which we were talking about 270 billion 10 years ago, and now we are crossing 800 billion, which is a big achievement in a way. It's a diversification of revenues and income for the economy, and it's a cushion for any unseen circumstances in the near future. We've seen that what we call the political economy should be the driver for our relationship in the next future or in the seeing years, because it became now a new philosophy that the economy is the driver for the relationship, and we wish that we hope that this is going to be a driver for our relationship toward the challenges in the domestic side, the regional, and the international market. I think these, having this in the back of our mind is very important, because, the relationship between countries relies on the economy and the mutual benefit in the relationship in different directions.
His Highness continued to adopt and support the pillars of the New Kuwait 2035 vision, which includes promising goals to support the role of the private sector in the national economy, and adopt more effective policies to attract foreign investments and reduce the contribution of government institutions to the implementation of development projects during the implementation of that vision. In the era of His Highness the Amir, Kuwait has made an important stride in the field of developing and simplifying the legislation and procedures related to investment by approving a package of economic legislation that is expected to contribute to the development of the national economy and keep pace with the rapid developments globally. His Highness moved the wheel of development at a higher speed as he launched one of the most significant and largest projects in the history of Kuwait's oil sector, the Clean Fuels Project.
There are other areas and sectors we have felt that there is a big achievement on the oil sector. With the revenues and the high price of the oil, there are sizable funds being injected within the domestic economy. We've seen this in Al Zour refinery, we see this in the environmental project, which is environmental fuel project, which is frankly speaking a good recognition for Kuwait in the oil sector, especially that we are talking about the green environment as an indicator for the rating of Kuwait if they are using that direction and that indicators.
The mega and strategic project comes within the framework of Kuwait's endeavor to become a regional economic attraction hub as part of the New Kuwait 2035 vision.
And since we are talking about the vision of 2035 or the vision 2040, I think with this achievement, many things can be catched up on the long run.
Furthermore, His Highness the Amir paid great attention to youth and directed officials to take care of this segment of society and open future horizons for them by providing them with the best academic and scientific methods and boosting Kuwait's values to help them take part in the country's process of construction and development, as they are the future of the nation and its true wealth.
Taking care of the youth in Kuwait, that's part of his prime goal. And he has also taken many positive actions in that line. The environment and Kuwait's contact with the international community with regard to anything that has to keep the environment clean and abide by the environmental laws and agreements, international agreements, is a very important and sacred action which he stressed upon, which shows that He's also caring and providing his support to whoever in the country is going to pursue the laws and implementing the laws of environmental protection. We can see in many aspects Kuwait is supporting any kind of, let's say, advancement of sciences and health in Kuwait by Kuwaitis who are doing their research in Kuwait or going abroad to continue their research in Kuwait in the field of health. And I'm sure we can see now an abundance, actually, of Kuwaiti doctors, nurses, and specialists who have become very prominent in Kuwait and prominent internationally. And we sometimes find out that one or two of them get awards and citations from international medical organizations for their achievements and for the advancements of medical sciences. So His Highness, when he addresses this issue, indicates that he is aware and he's supportive and is in line with what is changing in this field.
On the media level, His Highness stressed the importance of the national responsibility entrusted to media institutions' shoulders in expressing the country's issues and the concerns of citizens. His Highness the Amir, Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, is considered one of the founders of modern Kuwait with its pioneering institutions and tangible development. While taking the constitutional oath, His Highness stressed the prominent role of media institutions, freedom of the press, and the fight against all media that would harm national unity. His Highness the Amir was keen to honor the citizens who made outstanding achievements and pioneering initiatives, to commend their contributions and encourage them to achieve more excellence and success, to contribute to the development and prosperity of their country, and raise its flag in all forms. Kuwait's efforts, initiated by the late Amir and intensified by His Highness the Amir Sheikh Nawaf al-Ahmed in the field of the Gulf-Arab reconciliation, culminated in the signing of the Al-Ula Agreement on the 5th of January of 2021 on the sidelines of the Gulf Summit held in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, to realize the dream that Kuwait has always been keen to see on the ground and played a major role in reaching it.
The inter-Arab relationship and disputes, whether it had to be, whether it concerns in Yemen, let's say, had to be in Yemen or Syria or in Libya or in between Gulf region states, he continued with the same policy of neutrality, of moderation. And this helped many of these disputes, outstanding disputes, to be suppressed and calmed down, and hoping that with time they will actually be resolved.
Despite all the above-mentioned achievements, of which the state of Kuwait and the Kuwaitis are proud, there remain a few letters on the pages of the Book of Accomplishments of His Highness the Amir. May Allah protect and bless him, as he devoted his life to serve the country and its people.